Hey y'all, Sherry G. Welcome back to the channel. I'm back with another video of Love and Marriage Huntsville. In this video, I want to talk about none other than Marsau Scott. Again, like I told you earlier, he says some things that just blows my mind sometimes. I know he tries to be sarcastic. He sort of likes to be a little jovial, I guess you call it. Calls himself being funny, and then at other times he wants to give, words of wisdom and inspiration and all of that. But sometimes he says some things that just kind of causes me to pause and think and wonder, like, really, where's he coming from? So, he stated the last time, or last weekend, last Saturday, when we saw the episode, that the comeback group was dysfunctional. He's right. Every time they get together, it's a hotmess.com. And I, did some commentary around my reason for agreeing with him on that on my last video. So you can check that out if you haven't. But he also went on to say that anyone wanting to get paid from the venture, the Black Expo venture, anyone seeking to get paid from that venture, as far as the six of them, was greedy. Now, we know he was talking about Melody. So, yeah, I have something to say about that. Let's just remind Mr. Marsau what greedy is. Now, before I do that, keep in mind that the views expressed, they are alleged. It's of opinion. It's for fair use, entertainment, and all that jazz. So, yeah, Marsau, he had the nerve to say that anyone seeking to get paid from that venture was greedy. And I totally disagree with that. But I want to remind Marsau of just what greedy is, because I actually think he's greedy. So let's just talk about what greedy is. Excuse me. Oh, boy. Allergies. Anyway, moving on. Greedy is not wanting to get paid for work that you do. Wanting to get paid for work that you do is realizing the value that you bring to a certain situation and realizing your worth and putting a price tag on it. What you feel you deserve for the time spent, for whatever it is that it takes for you to do said work. On top of that, for your knowledge and for your expertise. So if anyone at that table deserves to get paid for anything, it certainly would be Melody, because she, out of all of them, has the most experience and is the most expert. However, I do believe that every person at that table has something that they could contribute to help budding entrepreneurs on their entrepreneurial journey. However, Letitia and Marsau didn't want to pay anyone. In fact, they took Melody's idea of sponsorship and decided, we're going to take this idea, something that we never thought of before, and we'll pay people outside of the group, but we're still not going to pay anybody inside of the group, according to Marsau, because that was greedy, right? But let me remind him of exactly what greedy is. Greedy is having a $5.5 million lawsuit against you because of shoddy work that you did, because of alleged shoddy work. Let me just put that out there. Because of allegedly not finishing the work, and I believe because of allegedly taking equipment. I believe those were all of the allegations in that $5.5 million lawsuit. Being greedy was starting the lawsuit with Zen Garden because I guess they didn't pay you. Well, why would they pay you when the work was shoddy and you didn't finish the work? So, of course, they turned around and they're countersuing you for $5.5 million because you were too lazy to finish the project. You were too lazy to hire a good crew to finish the product. You were too lazy to do the work and complete the work. It's either that or you really didn't know what you were doing. You really weren't that experienced. And so instead of being upfront about it, you were greedy and you wanted the money. So, you expected to get paid for an expertise that perhaps you really didn't have. Being greedy is trying to take back property that you failed to pay taxes on years and years and years ago. Property that you lost due to property tax liens. So the house was foreclosed on. Someone purchased the house. Then that person didn't keep the house. Someone else purchased the house. That person didn't keep the house. Then the third person, Mr. Smith, he keeps the house. He buys the house, actually. He buys the house and pays all of the associated fees, fines, what have you, back taxes, whatever it took for him to gain legal ownership of that property. Not only does he do that, but he takes money and he refurbishes the inside of the property and the outside of the property, because the property was left in such disarray that it took a lot of work. And this is the reason why allegedly the other two people who purchased the home before Mr. Smith weren't able to just hold on to it, because it was going to cost more than they thought. And before the property actually was foreclosed on, the people in the community that you care so much about, the community that you want to give back to, were saying that that house was an eyesore. Not only was it an eyesore, as far as the shape of it, the shape that it was in, but, like being dilapidated or what have you, but there were rats, the grass was really high, and there were roaches crawling on the trees. And they try to get in touch with you for, concerning the property, but you were too greedy to go out there and spend the money that it took to take care of the property and get it back in condition. You were too greedy, and this community that you claim you care about and you want to give back to was the same community that you were actually contributing to the devalue of their property taxes by way of your particular property looking amok or going to trash, being, uninhabitable. So finally, Mr. Smith gains, once again, legal ownership of the property, does everything that it takes, spends all of the money to make this property one that is inhabitable. And not only does he do that, he rents it out to people who have been living there for years. Mind you, Mr. Smith has owned this property for at least a good 10 years, allegedly. And here you come, Marsau, 10 years or so later, to take this man to court to try to take back that property that you lost two owners before him. That, sir, is greedy. That's greedy. That's greedy. And I'm telling you, I was shocked when I heard that. I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comment section, because that just blows my mind. And so now whenever I see Marsau, I just have a different, I had hope for them. I had hope for him, honestly. But when I heard about this, going on, this court case, him trying to take Mr. Smith to court and the reason why and everything, and it's real and it's recent. It's not like he's done this years ago to this gentleman. This is recent. It just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, you really are a shyster. You really are a scammer. Like, you don't give a crap about people. That's greedy. And now there's been a recent judgment here of recently as November 2022, so that's just a few short months ago. This judgment is for $132,078.55 to a company called Equipment Share. Now, I don't know whether you bought equipment from them and they have a judgment, against you for this amount, or whether they use their equipment to help with whatever it was you were doing over at Bedrock, or maybe over at, I don't know, the hotel. I don't know. I just know that you have this new judgment that is a matter of public record. And someone actually just dropped this in my lap this weekend. And I was shocked because it just keeps going and going and going and going. There are other judgments and lawsuits and liens, right? There's a lien on your property for the people who actually dug out the rock there And I think that was like 68,000 or something like that. But yeah, so there's that judgment, and there's all sorts of tax liens, personal property tax, just a hotmess.com. So that's greedy. Greedy is, I want you to do this work for me, but I'm not going to pay you. So I want you to, I want this house, but I'm not going to pay the property taxes. And in my mind, you have, Marsau, you have the terminology, the definition of the terminology confused, because you, sir, are the greedy one. Guys, I don't know about Marsau. Like, really, I'm like, what is really going on? And then I've been doing some background on his friend Gino. I'm saving that for another video because there's some things that I have to put together with that. But, there's something going on for real. There's a lot going on. And I can't wait to share that with you. So that'll probably be my next video because, like I said, I have to put some things together. Shout out to my friend who's dropped all of this information in my lap lately. So I got a lot of information these past 2 days. And like I said, it's a lot. So putting stuff together. Then on top of what she gave me, I did my own additional research on Gino. And so I can't wait, like I said, because I was questioning who the heck is Gino, because that, he just came out of nowhere. Anyway, I digress. That's for a next video. Please comment on this video down below in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit the notification bell because I will be back. Until then, ciao.